Hey, what's good, y'all? This is Ryan Jackson from Ryan Jackson LLC. Hope y'all are having a blessed and wonderful day. Today is Monday, the first day of the work week, and we know what they say about Mondays, what Murphy's Law is. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong on a Monday. We ain't gonna even put that out there. We ain't gonna even believe that. The fact that I even said it is crazy, but we're not even gonna believe that. We're going to trust and put our faith in Allah, and He will see us through. I could bear witness to it because He's bringing me through right now, and He has seen me through in the past. We thank Him for waking us up this morning and starting us on our way to see another day. And again, like I always say, tough times don't last, but tough people do. Put your faith and trust in Allah, He will see you through. Again, I could bear witness to that. So, peace and blessings, my brother. How you doing? So it took me a while to get on here. I don't know what was going on with my computer. I had to keep signing in. They said my microphone and my camera wasn't had to work for it to stream, and I didn't turn it off. So I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm glad that y'all are able to see me and hear me. So thank Allah for that. All praises due to Allah. So the topic for this video today is the 28th anniversary of the single greatest event to happen to Black people in the 20th century. I'm going to repeat that again. Today is the 28th anniversary of the single greatest event ever to happen to the Black community in the 20th century, and that's the Million Man March, October 16th, 1995, in Washington D.C. on the National Mall. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan called for 1 million Black men to join him in making a promise to love one another, to be pillars in their communities, build up their communities, be better husbands, fathers, sons, brothers, what so have you. He called for 1 million and 2 million showed up. That's right, a million more than he had anticipated. He called for 1 million, 2 million. 2 million showed up. There was not one single incident of violence. Not one single incident of violence. Not one. I don't even think a brother stepped on a brother's foot. You know, I didn't. I unfortunately I wasn't able to go. I was in the military. I was in North Dakota. I remember watching it on BET with Ed Gordon. 4 or 5 hour coverage of it, and I was so mad. And to this day, I still kick myself. I was 19 years old in '95. That would have done me a lot of good to be there. Now, my uncle went. My uncle, he has a nonprofit organization called Akibalon Village. It's on Detroit's east side. I believe he took 2 or 3 busloads of people, 2 or 3 busloads of men down there to DC. One of my older brothers went to the Million Man March as well. Unfortunately, he didn't get a damn thing out of it. He just went to say he had gone down there. I remember my father getting on his case. Was like, "Why are you going down there?" Or when he got back to Detroit, he's like, "Well, why did you go down there?" "Well, Dad, um, I met a guy from New York and we shared some popcorn." He was like, "Okay, that's great, but what did you learn from the minister?" And my brother couldn't tell him. He couldn't tell him. And so he just went down there just to say he went, just to be in the highlights, pretty much. That's the type of person my brother is. But I'm not going to even get in on him. But he should have stayed his ass in Detroit, and I should have gone. But I didn't have knowledge of self back then like I do now. Like I said, I was a 19-year-old kid. What did I know? But I know I had love for the minister. I had love for the Nation of Islam, even as a young man, even when I was 19 years old, because I seen the things that they had done in Detroit, how they helped the Black community in Detroit. Um, so I wasn't able to go. I tried to take leave to go to DC. I got laughed at. Um, I had only been in the military 3 months. I joined in July, yeah, July 5th, and the Million Man March was October 16th. So you're talking about 3 months. So I was, yeah, it wasn't gonna work. It wasn't gonna happen for me. But in any event, I'm glad that those brothers were able to enjoy themselves. There was not one single incident of violence. And it should also be noted that the brothers left the National Mall the way they found it when they left, spotless and clean. Do you hear what I'm saying to you? When those 2 million brothers left the National Mall, they left it the way they found it, spotless and clean. Even the minister's critics have to give him credit for this. 2 million black men. And we needed this at a time. 1995 was a critical time in the black community because a year before that, y'all President Lock 'em Up, President Three Strikes, Jim Crow Joe, you got it, Joe Biden signed that crime bill. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He didn't sign it. He wrote that crime bill. He wrote that crime bill. And who signed it? Again, who y'all claim to be the first black president, Feel Good Bill Clinton. Mr. Feel Good Bill Clinton. Filler up Bill Clinton. That's right. The, that devil y'all claim to be the first black president. Slick Willie. That's an excellent name for him. Slick Willie. Y'all remember that? Oh, he the first black president. Sounds so damn foolish. He was nothing but a devil. That's correct. That's who y'all, that's who signed the crime bill. He built more prisons than any president in US history, and he still holds that record to this very day. Slick Willie, Feel Good Clinton, Mr. Phil Clinton, Feel Good Clinton, first black president, built more prisons than any president in US history. And who are the residents of those prisons? Black men and women. But he was the first black president. And he sent our asses to the gulags in droves by the thousands. Many of them are still there. Many of them have passed away, unfortunately. And again, unfortunately, many of them are still there. The Democrats broke up families in the 90s. The Republicans broke it up in the 80s with the war on drugs. And it was continued into the 90s under the Clinton administration. So all Bill Clinton did was continue Reaganomics. I mean, let's keep it 1,000. Reaganomics, Bill Clinton finished the job that Reagan and Bush didn't do. I'm going to repeat myself again. Bill Clinton finished a job that both Reagan and Bush could not do. Reagan started the war on drugs. Nixon started in the 70s, but he had this thing called an impeachment, so he couldn't see it through. He couldn't see the fruits of his labor. So Reagan continued what Nixon wanted to do. Reagan declared war on the black community with the war on drugs. Y'all remember? How many of y'all old enough to remember? Say No, when Nancy Reagan, that skeletal looking, you know what, was going around schools in the black community talking about just say no, just say no. She was on Different Strokes. Y'all remember that? Just say no, just say no. Meanwhile, she telling you just say no, and her husband is putting drugs in our community to say just say yes. It was trickery. It was the ultimate Jedi mind fuck. Excuse me for cussing, but it was. If I tell them to say no, that I'm gonna show them that I care about them. Meanwhile, my husband is putting in the drugs in the community, destroying them. I'm saying just say no. He's saying just say yes. And just say yes again, locked up. Cops were coming in black neighborhoods, locking up black men by the droves. This is what NWA was speaking of. Not just NWA, but Public Enemy, Boogie Down Productions. So many brothers were speaking about this in the late 80s and into the 90s. Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on the new videos on here. Now, Reagan, you know, his memory is gone. He has dementia. He served his 8 years. His vice president, his predecessor, his successor, excuse me, his vice president, his successor, George Herbert Walker Bush, occupies the White House as elected in 1989. He continues where Reagan left off. Into the early 90s, the war on drugs was continuing. It was continuing under George H.W. Bush, Daddy Bush, that devil. He runs for the re-election in 92, loses to feel good Slick Willie Clinton, who gets elected in 92. He's inaugurated January 93, and he just continued what his buddies did. That's all he did. That's why I say Democrats, Republicans, different wing, same damn bird. And that's the bird of white supremacy. Different wing, same damn bird. Clinton just continued where Reagan and Bush left off. Clinton took it further though. Clinton took it to a whole nother level, baby. Because Clinton had the Congressional Black Caucus in his pocket. He had the Congressional Black Caucus. He had them brainwashed. Let's keep it a buck. He had them brainwashed. He tricked them into believing that signing that 1994 crime bill would be beneficial to the black community. Am I right or am I absolutely right? How many of y'all remember this? The late John Lewis. The late John Lewis, you know, Good Trouble, John Lewis. John Lewis, who marched across the bridge in 1965 across Selma, Alabama, got his head split into the white meat show for us to vote in these silly elections. That John Lewis. I mean, he had I can't say his heart was in the right place, I suppose, but the methods I don't agree with. I'm sorry. You crack me in the head to the white meat show, I'm gonna crack you back in the head, or I'm gonna kill you. He thanked the cops for beating him. Yes, that John Lewis. How did that help black people? The one who said get in good trouble, that John Lewis. Bill Clinton fooled him and many others in the Congressional Black Caucus into okaying this, into voting for this 1994 crime bill. You can look this up. Our own so-called people. And Clinton was like, well, since y'all gave me the green light, since black people love me, since they consider me the first black president, I'm gonna sign it. But time out. Senator Joe Biden, who was senator from Delaware, pushed it. So did his wife, Hillary Clinton, First Lady Hillary Clinton at that time. She called young black men super predators who need to be locked up and brought to heel. Do y'all remember this? That's what these devils did. Do y'all remember it? And y'all voted for them, and y'all said that they were our allies. And they sent us to the gulags. They sent many of our brothers and sisters to the gulags to die and rot, breaking up black families. If I sound like I'm pissed off and upset, I am pissed off and upset. I know this video is about the Million Man March, and I'm getting to that because I know many black people, black men my age, who were sent to prison for drugs, first time offense. They were sitting there with killers, stone cold killers, rapists, pedophiles, scoundrels of society. But when a white man is convicted of drugs for the first time, it's a health crisis. They don't get sent to the gulags. They get help. They get treatment. We get sent to die. And we signed our own death warrant. We allowed the killers to come in and just run roughshod on our community. There's a photo on social media where it's a bunch of sheep, and it's two tables, and it's two sheep arguing with each other. And then on the wall, it's a picture of a wolf and it's a picture of a lion, and they're dressed in suits. And the picture of the wolf, you have sheep on this side, and you have a sheep, voting. And then on the other side, you have a picture of a lion, and you have a sheep at the table voting, and then there's sheep behind them. That is the perfect analogy for black people when it comes to these elections. A wolf and a sheep. A wolf and a lion. They're both are gonna kill the sheep. They're both your enemy. They're both their ultimate goal is to devour you, is to destroy you. No matter if it's the wolf, no matter if it's the sheep, the lion. Don't matter. Whether it's the wolf or the lion, you're gonna die. It's like Alien versus Predator. No matter who win, we lose. Democrat or Republican, no matter who win, we lose. Their ultimate goal is to destroy us. Like again, no matter if it's the Democrats or the Republicans, it doesn't matter. But so the Million Man March came at a critical time. Biden wrote this crime bill 94. Clinton signed it, built prisons all across this country. 95, you had the East Coast, West Coast beef in hip hop. And the minister was already going around the country doing speeches, doing lectures, I should say, was already going around the country in early 1994, drumming up support for the Million Man March. He was doing this a year and a half before October 16, 1995. Early 1994, he was going to Philly. He was going to Atlanta. He came out here to Oakland. He was going to LA, New York, Detroit, Houston, drumming up support for the Million Man March, which was to come a year and a half later, and on October 16th, 1995. It was a critical time. It was a critical time. We needed it, and we need it again now. Shoot, we need a whole lot more now. But because times are worse now than it was in 95. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Those of you who are old enough to remember, it was bad in 95, but now it's a clusterfuck. The emasculation of the black man is like being thrown in our face on a constant basis every day. This music that our children are listening to, I never thought I would live to see the day or witness myself say that I hate rap music. I hate rap music. And by rap music, I mean ratchet ass perverted music. Ratchet ass perverted music. Rap music. I hate it. It promotes murder, death, kill, murder, death, kill. It's low vibrational. It's almost like it's zombified when you listen to it. It doesn't have a beat. It damn sure don't have a message. What is the message? Murder, death, kill. It does have a message. Let me repeat. Let me correct myself. It does have a message, but it doesn't have a message of positivity. Murder, death, kill. Murder, death, kill. Murder, death, kill. It's a shame. And the ratchetness of these Cardi B's, Sexy Reds, Megan Thee Stallion, it's just out of control. But when you say this, you're toxic masculine. You shouldn't tell women, no. What's wrong with our women being uplifted? Do y'all remember when Queen Latifah came out with the song UNITY? You're not a bitch or a hoe? Do y'all remember Sister Soldier? Those of y'all old enough to remember. Yo Yo, MC Light, Moni Love. Y'all remember the message that these sisters were saying? No matter, they were from opposite sides of the coast, but they had the same message. Another sister who gets overlooked, Bahamadia, great sister out of Philly, great MC, great female MC out of Philly. This sister is so underrated, grossly underrated. She had this song called True Honey Buns on her debut album, True Honey Buns. The message was the same message as Queen Latifah, MC Light, Yo Yo, Sister Soldier, Moni Love. It was to uplift the Black woman. Where did we go wrong? Now they want to talk about destroying the Black woman. The ratchetness. WAP. You have little 7-year-old girls repeating the lyrics of WAP. Wet ass, I'm not going to say the word on here, but you get my drift. Y'all know what the P stands for. It rhymes with hussy. Just instead of the H, put the P there. This is, and you got little girls singing this. Sexy Red, the ratchetness. Do y'all remember when politicians, both Democrats and Republicans, when they hated rap music, they hated rappers, and rappers felt the same about them? Do y'all remember those days? Now, pay attention. The politicians are welcoming rap music and rappers. They're opening their arms. They love it now. They encourage it. Why is that? Why is it that the politicians love rap music now? Because the rappers are pawns of these politicians. They're going around using the rappers to tell us to vote for the Democrats. They're using the rap. The rappers are working for the politicians now. I never thought I would live to see the day that this would happen. Never thought it. Yes, hip hop was about resistance and rebellion. Now it's about submission. It's pretty much hip hop is submission now. It's slavery. It's submission and to be a pawn. Well, submission. That's what it is. It's just it's submission now. That's what hip hop has turned into. Submitting to the politicians, submitting to the devils. They want to push this vaccine. Hey, what's that dumbass song Juvenile came out with? Vax that thing up. Last year, Trina came out with a song, No Voting, No Vucking. It's like, what? Little Wayne, Little Weezy has the ear of the Biden administration. Do y'all remember when he pretty much thumbed his nose and gave a middle finger to people protesting police brutality? Do y'all remember that? Well, I had a white cop in New Orleans that was a friend of mine. Nigga, who gives a damn? This tattooed buffoon was going around here making fun of people protesting police brutality, but he has the ear of the White House. This is who they listen to. Not the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, not the uh, brother minister, Ishmael Muhammad, brother Troy Muhammad, brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Riza Islam, brother Ben X, sister Donna Farrakhan. They don't listen to the many brothers and sisters in the NOI. No, but not just them. Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. Boyce Watkins, who I hope to have the pleasure of meeting later this week because I'm attending the All Black National Convention in Atlanta on Thursday. So I hope I get to meet Dr. Watkins because he's really inspired me. He's 5 years older than me, but he's like a big brother to me. I'm gonna tell him that if I meet him too. But they don't want people like this. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Dr. Claude Anderson, Dr. Boyce Watkins, Dr. Julianne Malvo, Dr. George C. Frazier. They don't want people like this. They want the idiots, the buffoons, the clowns to have to be the voice of the people. Not the thinkers, not the intellectuals, but the buffoons, the clowns, the sideshows. That's our voice. They don't do this to no other community, but they do it to Black people. They wouldn't dare do this to the Jewish community. They wouldn't dare do this to the Asian community. They wouldn't dare do this to the Hispanic community, but they do it to the Black community. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Hit that thumbs up button, smash that thumbs up button down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications on the new videos on here. It's a damn shame, man. It's a damn shame. We are just, they see us as a joke. And our goofy ass politicians, the coons backing Caucasians, which is what I call the Congressional Black Caucus, coons backing Caucasians, the NAACP, which is supposed to stand for the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, but it really stands for Negroes Always Apologizing to Caucasian People. That's what the NAACP stands for. They have sold us out for bags of silver. They are Judases. They rather fight for the rights of Ukrainians, fight for the rights of now Israelis over what's going on with Israel and Palestine, in Israel about to orchestrate a ground attack on Gaza. They want to fight for Israel. They want to fight for the Zionists. This is what the Congressional Black Caucus is doing. They want to fight for the Zionists, fight for the Ukrainians, and give the middle finger to the Black community. And why do we keep voting for these people? Why do we keep voting them in? Why do we keep supporting them? Time after time again. Every 4 years, it's the same goddamn thing. The same goddamn playbook. It's get tiring. Haven't we learned our lesson? We've been doing this for 90 years. More so the last 63 years. Haven't we learned our lesson? What is it going to take? Again, shout out to the Nation of Islam, to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, to all the brothers and sisters in the nation. I love y'all. I salute y'all. Minister Farrakhan, I salute you. Thank you, sir. You called for 1 million black men and 2 million showed up. Maya Angelou was one of the speakers. And I believe Angela Davis, Jesse Jackson, Dr. Ben Chavis. Funny enough, the NAACP, the National NAACP, did not support the march, the Million Man March, but local chapters did. Local chapters of the NAACP supported the Million Man March. I remember Reverend Wendell Anthony out of Detroit. Detroit at that time had the largest chapter in the NAACP, had more members, had the largest membership of the NAACP of any city and back in 95. I don't know if it still does or not, but at the time Detroit did. And the Reverend Wendell Anthony wholeheartedly supported the minister and sent droves of brothers from Detroit to DC. I want to say Detroit had the largest number of black men to come out of any city in the US than any other city. More brothers came out of Detroit to DC. I want to say that. I may be wrong on that. So I have to fact check myself. But I know our local chapter there in Detroit, the NAACP, wholeheartedly supported the minister, Reverend Wendell Anthony, and salute to him. He was the head of the chapter of the NAACP at that time. Um, but it was just a blessed event. I wish that brother Tupac Shakur could have been there. I wish Biggie could have been there, and brother Biggie could have been there, and even brother Shug, because he needed to hear what the minister was saying. But him and Puffy, Diddy, Papa Diddy, Pop, whatever the hell he call himself these days, they were so worried about destroying hip hop. They were so worried about pleasing their puppet masters. They could have gave a damn about going to the Million Man March, but they needed to be there, as well as Pac and Biggie. If Pac and Biggie had been there, they would have squashed this silly ass East Coast West Coast beef, and hip hop would have been in a beautiful place. I really, really believe that in my hardest of hearts. I really believe that. But Suge knew, and Diddy knew that if Big had attended, and Suge knew that if Pac had attended, uh, this whole East Coast West Coast beef that their puppet masters was orchestrating would have came to a crashing end. They knew it. That's why they stopped them from attending, and they continued this silly beef. And how did it end? A year later, well, less than a year later, Pac ended up being murdered. A year and a half after Million Man March, in March of 97, Biggie ended up being murdered. I can't help but to think if these brothers had attended the Million Man March, they would have still been with us to this very day. Pac would have celebrated his 52nd birthday. Biggie would have celebrated his 51st birthday. They would have broke away from them two goofball coon clowns, Suge Knight. That's right, Suge Knight is a goofball fat ass clown. I said it. And that twinkle toed goofy ass Diddy, another clown. That's right, I said it. They would have broke away from them. Do I think Diddy will face any criminal punishment? Uh, no. To be honest with you, he should. He should, because Diddy got Biggie murdered. Diddy murdered Tupac. He didn't pull the trigger, but Diddy set up Tupac's murder. That's right, I'm gonna repeat myself. Diddy set up Tupac's murder. And Suge knew about it. That's why Suge is being hush hush. I'm telling you, this whole East Coast West Coast thing, It was an act. It was an act. Was Diddy scared of Suge? Possibly, but they were in cahoots with each other. They were in cahoots because Suge knew who the shooters were. Suge played a part in it. He played a part in Pac's murder, but Diddy played a bigger part because he orchestrated the murder. The South Side Crips and Diddy were in cahoots with each other. I'm going to repeat myself. The South Side Crips and Diddy were in cahoots with each other. The South Side Crips were even in the LAPD. So those shooters who killed Pac, they were police officers. They were cops. They weren't any street gangsters. No, no, no. They can't orchestrate anything like this and get away with it. These were cops. These were state-sponsored gangsters that killed Tupac. State-sponsored gangsters. Now those cats that killed Biggie, they were state-sponsored gangsters too, and street cats. That was a collective effort. But the reason why they killed Biggie is because Diddy refused to pay the Southsiders the money after they did the Pac job, the job on Tupac. He refused to pay them. So, in other words, Biggie was collateral damage. You killed one of theirs, we're gonna kill one of yours. Biggie was, unfortunately, he was collateral damage. He had to go. And it's a damn shame because Diddy was the call. Diddy, his actions led to Biggie's death. Hold on, give me 1 second. I gotta plug in my device. But that's what went down. And like I said, it's when Pac got murdered, that was a big blow to hip hop. Let's just keep it 1,000. That was a big blow to hip hop. But we were able to sustain the ship. We were able to sustain the ship. It was a big blow, bam. It was able to steer the course and sustain the ship. Kind of repair our damages and go get back on course. Right the ship. But when Big got murdered, that was the iceberg that sunk the ship. That was the proverbial iceberg that sunk the hip hop ship. If hip hop was the Titanic, Biggie's murder was the iceberg, and it sunk the ship. And now the ship it's a coral reef now for the bottom feeders. And when I say the bottom feeders, I'm meaning these ratchet ass, sorry, bitch ass rappers that's out now. Your Futures, your Drakes, your Little Nas X's, your Travis Scott's, your Megan Thee Stallions, Cardi B's, Sexy Reds, bottom feeders, bottom feeders, bottom feeders. Hip hop has sunk to the lowest of depths. It's subterranean now, and it's become a coral reef. And now the bottom feeders are just are have they've taken refuge in it. They're they're taking residence in it. Bottom feeders. But the Million Man March was a blessed event. Like I said earlier in this video, it was the most significant and most important single event in the history of Black people, in Black history in the 20th century. 2 million Black men. And then 20 years later, 1.5 million people showed up at the 20th commemoration. I missed that too. And I tried to go to that. I tried my damnedest to go to that. But Work and money wouldn't allow, well, money, I should say, not so much work, but money wouldn't permit me to go. But the 20th anniversary in 2015 had over 1 million people. And the minister was 82 years old when he did the 20th, when he in 2015 when he did the 20th commemoration. Wow, 82 years young, and he was still drawing large crowds like that. Those two marches, the Million Man March '95 was far more impactful than the March on Washington in 1963. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Hell, the 20th anniversary in 2015 was more impactful than the March on Washington. And that drew more people because the March on Washington was co opted by the white liberals. And if I'm not mistaken, then President John F. Kennedy gave them a curfew saying, okay, at this time, okay, y'all have your little march, and this time y'all need to get the hell out of Dodge. But it did nothing to help black people. The March on Washington is what Malcolm X said it was. It was a farce on Washington. That's really what it was, a farce on Washington. And Dr. King saw that years later before he passed. He said, I'm afraid that I integrated my people into a burning house. And when he met the messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, may peace be unto him, he realized that no, we need another method. We need to start demanding something from this government. I need to promote Black self improvement, Blacks doing for themselves, Blacks demanding reparations. And that's when they killed them. Not this peace loving uh, Negro preacher who white people seemed now they love, but they hated him, when he was integrating, when he was pushing integration, and they hated him even more when he spoke out against the Vietnam War and when he was speaking about reparations. Those same so-called people who loved him hated him. But now that he's gone and been gone for 55 years, now they love him. Fuck out of here. Excuse me for cussing, but it's bullshit. We know it is. We know how this devil operate. But the Million Man March was far more impactful for Black people because it was for us. It was for us by us. It dealt with the issues that we were dealing with. It was B1 to the max. B1 to the max. For us by us. And it helped a lot of brothers. It really did. Y'all remember that movie, Get on the Bus? That Spike Lee movie? Great movie. Y'all need to check it out. I may watch that tonight. So again, I can't thank the minister enough. I can't thank the Nation of Islam enough. I just have so much respect as a fellow Muslim. I'm not a member of the Nation of Islam, but I have love and respect for the FOI, the MGT, and all the brothers and sisters in the nation. And of course, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Brother Minister Ishmael Muhammad. I have love and respect always for the greatest Black man in the 20th century, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, the greatest Black man of the 20th century. There's no argument. I dare you to tell me someone who was greater than the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. His impact is still being felt today. Look at the nation. Look at the job that the nation is doing. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad has been gone for almost 50 years. The man died a year before I was born, 1975. I was born 1976. He's been gone 48 years, and the nation is still in a greater place than it was at a greater place now than it was when he was around, when he was on this planet. It's in a greater place, and we have to thank Allah for that, of course, but we have to thank him for his prophet, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. We have got to thank him for him, the most influential black man of the 20th century, because his impact is being felt now and will be felt for generations to come. Am I right or am I absolutely right? Much respect to the Nation of Islam. I cannot stress that enough. But I wish I could have attended that event. I have brothers of mine who attended, not biological brothers, but brothers of mine in as far as brotherhood and in the spirit of being brothers. Because I don't consider them friends, I consider them to be brothers. My brother went, yes, but I know brothers who went. My uncle took black men who I know who attended the Million Man March. But I know many other brothers who I met over the years who attended as well, and they said it was a blessed event. And I just wish I could have gone there. I wish I would have got so much out of it as a 19-year-old goofy kid. While I look back, 19, I was drenched behind the ears. Not wet behind the ears. I was drenched behind the ears. I was a goofy kid. I thought being in the military would actually was I was doing the right thing. Come to find out I wasn't. But you know what? I met some great people while I was in the Air Force. But I wish I would have just attended the march because I needed to hear what Brother Minister was saying. Um, I would have, knowing me, I would have even then I would have brought a notebook and pen and took notes while standing up. What do you say? Standing up. That really would have impacted my life. It would have made a difference in my life. And shout out to the brothers who attended. Y'all know who y'all are. My brother Aaron down in Atlanta. Shout out to you, brother. My uncle Marvis, who took the brothers from the Akibalan village. Shout out to you, uncle. Love you much. I ain't gonna salute my brother that attended. He went for the wrong reasons. Don't have nothing against him. I love him, but nah, he don't. Nah, 'cause he didn't learn a damn thing. But to the rest of you brothers who attended, whether you're from Philly, DC, New York, LA, Detroit, Milwaukee, Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, wherever, Baltimore, I salute you all. Y'all did a great thing. And, I can't wait for the 30th anniversary of the Million Man March, which would be 2 years from today, 2025. It'd be 30 years. So we're almost there. And I pray to Allah that He allow the minister to see the 30th anniversary. May Allah keep the minister and Mother Khadijah, keep them safe, and all the brothers and sisters in the NOI. On that note, I'm gonna hop off of here. Again, great event. Like I said, the single greatest event for Black people in the 20th century was the Million Man March on October 16th, 1995. I cannot stress that enough. I cannot. And those of you who want to disagree and deny it, feel free. But like I always say, let's agree to disagree without being disagreeable. Bring facts. Don't bring emotion. Don't bring emotion. Bring facts. That's all I ask. Y'all take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Brothers as well as sisters, y'all be safe out here, man. Y'all be safe. This devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Whether you're going to work, coming home from work, dropping your kids off at school, picking them up, running errands, whatever you may be doing, be safe, beware, and be aware. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. I love y'all. Please support my YouTube channel. Hit that the like button, smash it down, hit the subscribe button so you get notifications when I do videos on here. Support my podcast on my platforms. Please, I need y'all love and support because I can't do it without y'all. So please continue to support your brother. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you think and share this video. Share it, share it, share it. Until next time, I love y'all and God bless. I love y'all very much. So y'all take care and have a blessed and wonderful day. I'm out. Peace and blessings.